think we should hold our stars to a certain level. Okay, on a personal level, I think Fahim may want to go there, but I don't think it really helps him for 3-on-3 games. He's quite of a star on 5-on-5 games. I would rather have him rested, well rested, good preparation, good focus for his 5-on-5 games. He might actually have a great outing or a great debut into, not debut because he's had some international games in his resume, but next year could be could be a game changer for him if he manages to go for some international games. Could be a game changer for him. So I don't know why he shifts his focus to 3-on-3.
because
Why he would want to engage in that venture. I don't think uh, Abel as a scout. I think you're better placed to understand how scouting goes. But I don't know if you'd go to scout in 3-on-3 games. I don't know. I'm not sure
my
about
point is
that.
this,
But
because
I'd leave
just to
that to you.
answer your point, yes, just to answer your point on Fahim, and I coached him in Moran, right? He he's playing better in the 3-on-3 than in the 5-on-5. That's the biggest problem, and that's why he's being used in the 3-on-3. His output in the 5-on-5 is very confusing. He's arguably one of the most
Yeah, yeah.
talented
Oh,
players in Kenya,
I,
but he's not playing well.
I totally, Abel, I totally agree
Yeah.
with you.
Hmm.
But then I think in this year, his performance has really improved on 5-on-5. Really, really
Absolutely,
improved. But
absolutely.
I would really prefer for him to focus on 5-on-5
But you see, I'll tell you one thing
than
which is
on
you need to
3-on-3
grasp on.
games. I don't think
But
they do so much.
Steve, what you need to grasp is that his performance per
Yeah,
se is not better. It is that the style of play that Thunder plays, where everybody is outside and they shoot a lot, he thrives because he
yeah,
can either shoot or sometimes cut to the basket, right? This is not where his
yeah,
problem
yeah,
has
yeah,
been. You understand? Because his problem has been this, right?
yeah,
With equity, for example, the problem has been because of his talent, we want him to lead and to carry the team. But he cannot do that.
yeah,
He's thriving in Thunder because in reality, he's not the leader. You get it? But he can now
yeah.
do his
He
thing.
doesn't have that much pressure.
Exactly. He can now do his thing. You get it? Trust me, you take him to Morans, they'll say, okay, to Memukona, when you're shooting threes, so now let's draw plays for you. It's not going to work. You get it? He's easier.
Yeah,
He plays easier as a role player. Let him roam around. He cuts to the basket sometimes,
exactly.
shoots
But
sometimes,
then,
because he's better that way. He's a good player, but he needs to be free, not to be confined, and then you put pressure on him.
yeah.
So yes,
Have you
you're right.
realized one thing that he's really improved on his rebounding? I think that is
Yes,
one issue that should be really looked into. His rebounding has really improved, and I
but you
think
know why? That's what I'm
if
saying. But
he,
listen, Steve-O.
yeah,
No. Again,
yeah,
as a scout, he's only rebounding because they play five out. So there's nobody in the paint. So whenever he comes from the weak side action, because they shoot a lot, he's going to rebound a lot. If he plays in a normal 3-2 offense, it's harder because he doesn't fight with big people. But the way Thunder is playing,
yeah,
there's no big person in the paint because everybody plays outside. Fadi's on top of the 3-point line. So Fadi's man is outside.
yeah.
So inside is empty. That is why look at their games
All
carefully
right, yeah,
when the teams play the zone against them. Go and look back at the games when Equity sat in the zone or even UN sat in the zone. He didn't rebound as much because the posts are below the basket because they're there
yeah, sure,
standing. So those are the things we have to look at. It's like he plays well in a free flowing game. But I think for Fahim, look, I've coached this kid. Like I said, after Tyler, he's supposed to be the next. The thing is, it's him
yeah,
to take it up. Even
definitely.
right now in Sunday, I told you,
Okay.
Garang Ding is
Mm.
taking more responsibility than him. You get it? Garang is leading the team,
Yeah,
dribbling the ball, controlling the offense. Garang, how old is he? He's not supposed to control the offense. So he needs to step up at that
yeah.
level because he's the most talented player from Kenya that is there in the league right now. He is. I agree with you
Now,
100%.
now, now,
Hmm. Hmm.
I have these two very interesting takes on Fahim.
Okay.
This should be my worries. So for me, Fahim is quite slow when it comes to defending guards, and he is quite small when it comes to defending bigs. So, where do we have him defensively on 5 on 5? Because
Sorry.
on 3 on 3,
Mhm.
you don't get exposed as much on defense
Yes.
because you're 1 on 1. You just bang bang. It's a lot of physicality. You get away with getting physical with people. But then on 5 on 5 is a little bit stricter, so you don't get away with a lot on defense.
Exactly, but it's not that he that actually does not play physical. That's actually one of his biggest undoing. In 3 on 3, the difference is that he doesn't have to move much to guard somebody. He doesn't have to follow weak side, strong side of play where you're recovering from. It's easier on 3 on 3. We are just standing here. I take 2 steps, I'm inside, 2 steps, I'm outside, 2 steps, I'm inside, 2 steps, I'm outside. So it's easy for him not to be exposed defensively. On 5 on 5, the problem that he has always had is that he doesn't guard the small players well, and the big players bully him physically. And I told him this, he can tell. I told him since I said, take the physical challenge. One of the reasons why in Morans there's always a question mark is because with your height and size, we expect you to pick up the defensive tasks like Tyler does, right? If
Yeah,
somebody is scoring, Tyler is going to say, give me
yeah,
that guy. That's what we expect from you.
yeah,
And you're not doing this, right? I can digress. You see,
yeah,
Siaji. I have the same problem with Siaji. You see, I tell him, Siaji, you they played the finals of the Street League the other day. Sorry to digress, guys. And Ding kept on shooting Garang, and they're playing a zone. I'm looking at Siaji that, but take responsibility. The series is 1-1, is the last game of the finals. Be the star player.
yeah,
Star player is not shooting the ball. You take a defensive role. You say, this boy is not shooting one more jump shot in this game. It's me and him. This is where these guys have a problem, okay? Because when it comes to Morans, we get guys from outside the country. We get the elite guys who are locked in. Guys can criticize who they want, Mutoro, whoever. It's fine. But those guys have a dog mentality, okay? And when you go for international tournaments, you must be a dog because those guys are ruthless.
okay,
I promise you guys, it's not Nyayo Stadium. Those guys are ruthless outside. They work out, they go to the gym, they're ruthless. If you come there with your soft mentality, you think this is Nyayo Stadium and Nairobi West where people don't work out, you get chewed and spat out. So when we see a guy who's not a dog in practice, a lot of people who talk about national team selections, I laugh because I've attended these selections for the last 15 years, okay? The players that you guys are crying about do not perform well in those tryouts, okay? They're absorbed, they're overwhelmed, okay? I, when I was in Morans, we brought Derrick Ochieng, Bramwell, the point guard for Strathmore, okay? We brought them. I can tell you that they didn't dominate. You understand? Because it's not as easy as you think. You see them in the league playing for their team, and that's very fine. But once these guys have worn the Morans uniform or Lioness, I promise you it's not the same ball game. You should come and actually attend the practice sessions. You will make the same list 9 times out of 10 as the coaches have made. Because you're going to see the performance and be like, this guy is lying to me and I steal him every day. To some extent, the issue that I have when he says it is that sometimes he says it out of context because I'm like, you didn't actually watch it happening. You might have a point when you're saying only in Nyayo Stadium, but I need to actually watch them in training to know that even the one that you think should have been there is actually more useless than this one when they're all training. You understand? That is what you must get. Is that once they're all together in one room, Mimi, Stevo, and Nderitu, all of a sudden, Stevo is better than us. You get it? But outside there, when we go and play street league or whatever, Nderitu is shining. You get the point. And this is what has been happening to the national
yeah,
team. So those who don't come for practice only see the results that they saw. The way you've said, Fahim is playing very well, right? We agree. But the
yeah.
point is, if you show up in a Moran's training, is he dominating the training the way he dominated when he's playing for Thunder is the question. You get the question. That's where even Ariel that we went with, right? Ariel, they went with him because he's a top shooter for Thunder, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't shoot that greatly in this tournament, right? He was okay. He didn't
He,
shoot
he didn't.
greatly.
He didn't find his shot like when the
Yes,
first game happened. He didn't find his shot quick enough because
yes.
given like the way the games were coming in, he was trying to get those looks, but he wasn't knocking them down like as fast as we wanted him. But he needed to find his shot fast.
Yes, and that
That's one
comes
thing
from
that we
them.
needed. Yeah.
Yeah, go
I,
ahead, go ahead,
I
go ahead.
actually I hold the same sentiments about Ariel. I don't think he should be playing 3-on-3. He should focus on 5-on-5.
Yes,
We expect Ariel to take a big load going forward, like 3-4 years to come in the Morans, because that is what we
yes,
expect from him. It would be very unrealistic for someone else to come from the back, go over the top and ahead of him in the national team just
true.
because he has his focus everywhere all around. One thing about 3-on-3, 3-on-3 will give you good visibility to basketballers. Basketballers will look at you and say, this guy is balling out. But then it doesn't give you enough visibility
I agree with you.
personally. Yeah.
100%. 100%. As a scout, I'm not scouting 3-on-3 players. I don't care about what they're doing. Those are scratcho boys. I care about 5-on-5 guys. You're very right. If they want to play the
Yeah.
BAL or go and play outside of Kenya, they have to play 5-on-5 basketball and succeed. Fahim and Ariel are lucky enough. They're playing for Thunder. Maybe Thunder is going to succeed in what they're trying to do this year, even though KPA and Equity still have their word to say. But the point is, God willing, they make it because they'll play in a system that favors them. Because you have to understand, people have to get this. You have to play in a system that favors you. The current system favors
Yeah.
Ariel
Yeah.
and Fahim, and it doesn't favor Ken
A
Washira, for
lot.
example. Ken
Yes,
Washira, for
true.
example, is lost. Griffin Ligari is lost. You get what I'm saying? Griffin is not playing well. He's only playing because of who he is. You get it? But if you
Yeah.
look at the stats, Alier Moses is playing better at the point guard. Sindio?
Yeah, true, true.
Sure. Sure. By
Yes,
far.
he's by far
He's
he's
a,
playing better. So
Yeah.
because the system, sometimes the system favors. The system has favored Garangding, Fahim, and Ariel Ortega, and Dismas. Those
yeah,
guys are
Yeah.
thriving in the system that the coach has put into place. But the Olangs and the rest are not really doing anything. You get it? If you came to watch the game,
Yeah.
you'll be like, okay, okay. That's all you're going to say. So people must always get that. And I'm happy we're talking about this because sometimes a system and a style favors a player. Sometimes the player doesn't look good, but it's the style of the team that does not favor the way
Yeah.
he or she plays. So you just misjudge them and say, we are Nauza. No, it's the system, it's the style.
The
So
system, I think the system and the style are